Top 10 with Tia is brought to you by Speed Republic from Mad Cave Studios. In the near future, Europe is plagued by hollow visions of unity. Food is scarce, the water is polluted, and health is a luxury reserved for the 1%. An escape from poverty presents itself once a year in the form of the Grand Race. An all-out action-packed rally across Europe, where anything goes. Speed Republic. Written by Ryan K. Lindsay, with art by Emmanuel Parascandalo. Colors by Michelle Monti and letters by Jomette Gill. Coming February 2nd, 2022, from Mad Cave Studios.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing Top 10 by Geek Vibes Nation. Look at us, Brittany, third month strong of the year.
Right. And I was going to say it's your birthday month, so you have to put in extra effort, right?
Exactly. We don't talk about how old I'm turning, but anyway, it is my birthday. I don't know if I'm going to put this up before my birthday or after my birthday, so either way, welcome back to another Top 10. I'm Tia. This is Brittany. Thank you to Mad Cave Studios for sponsoring this episode. You just saw the intro, so I don't need to tell you that, but we're already starting this off. I think this is like our first nighttime podcast that we've done this year, so we've both had We've both had pretty long days.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you get up early. I started realizing, I was like, Tia's been going to bed so early. And I always get a message from you about 3:40 my time. And I realized, oh shit, she's going to work at like 6 in the morning or some shit, or at least getting around.
You know it is. So I have to be at work by 7 my time, that's 6 your time. But Paulie has to be at work even earlier. So he gets up around 3 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes I'm able to go back to bed, and sometimes I'm not able to go back to bed.
Yeah.
Which is funny. On the days that I'm not able to go back to bed, literally, let's say like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm just playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, that's my life right now.
Girl. Dang, you're rootin' tootin' it up over there.
My dedication to the rootin' and tootin' goes deep.
You know what's funny is every time I had a moment with that game when I was playing today that I sat there and I went, there's some characters that tell a story, and she's like, and I guess I made a noise or something, because I was like, oh my God, that's how we Southerners tell our freaking stories. It's like, I must have done something, and then something happened. And, the storytelling way that she spoke, I was like, oh my God, this could have been my mom telling me a story or like my grandpa. I was like, what the hell is going on?
It's so funny. So, like, really quick. So I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Brittany's also playing Red Dead Redemption 2, although she's playing it on Twitch, so you can actually watch her play it. But, the whole thing was, I always heard like, oh, it's like GTA, but in the West. But it's so much more than that. Like, you can do so much. And at first,
you can pet the dog.
You can pet the dog. You can pet the horse. And it's like, at first, I kind of sat there and go, oh, there's no driving mechanics. That's kind of weird. And now I'm just so used to riding a horse that, like, I just love that. I'm like, that's just natural. I'm going to go back to playing GTA and be like, where's a horse?
I know. Like, when... How to say, when I first start riding the horses, I accidentally punched it first because I tried to do F, because that's how on the computer you get into a car. And I was like, obviously the same thing. No, I punched the horse and it ran off. I had to run after it because I was like, please come back. Also, GTA, if you hit other cars and kill people, there's not really anything bad that happens. I accidentally ran over someone with my horse. So I was like, oh, they're dead.
No, it's so funny, like, because that took me a while too to break with a horse, because I was just running over people with my horse. And the thing is, like, in GTA, if you say run over someone, right, okay, maybe the cops are called, but you outrun them and that's fine. Or maybe you die and you wake up in the hospital. But this one, it's like all of a sudden you're losing honor. And I'm like, wait, no, I wasn't
Not
expecting that.
my honor.
Listen,
I know.
the honor and dishonor go into effect towards the end of the game. And I want to make sure that Arthur has a lot of honor. So running people over doesn't bode well.
So I was going to say, I've got him at really good honor right now. But that one mission with Marston where you have to steal the kerosene, and I was like, oh, they're trying to kill me. I got to kill him. And it was giving me negative honor per kill. I went, I save scummed. I restarted the mission.
Well, it's fun. Well, you're at the point in the game where you have so much game left where you can just like redo your honor. And really quick, Paulie taught me this. When you're playing as Arthur, if you go into a town and you just greet people, like just like regular people, and just greet them positively, it helps your honor. So that's a tip from me.
Yeah, go be nice. But are you really playing the game if you don't antagonize Micah every time you see him?
So it's funny. So, you know, with like GTA, I always end up replaying it. So this is my first playthrough. So I'm playing it honorably. I'm definitely going to replay RDR once I finish it, and then I'm going to play it dishonorably.
You're going to be a bad man.
At first, I want Arthur to be good, and next, I want Arthur to be bad.
You're like getting Dean and then Demon Dean afterwards.
Exactly. But we are what, like 5 minutes into the podcast. I haven't even like said what the subject of the podcast is, so we're doing a great job. But
it's okay, just like cut and splice it. We'll move it towards the end, and then they'll be like, oh my god, it started right away. That's new for them.
I never expected this. Let me change the background really quick. I wanted to have you know, my support here.
Hell yeah.
The thing was, my computer was like, do you want to restart? And it's like, no, I definitely don't want to do that right now. Don't fucking do that shit. Anyway, so this is the new top 10, and it is the top 10 supporting characters that stole the spotlight. This is a blanketed term. It can apply to movies and TV shows. I thought I would do something different this time, and Brittany, let you do your top 5 first.
Oh shit. I'm afraid of taking some of yours though.
I don't think so. I think I tried to make this list a little different than like similar lists that we've done in the past.
You're not gonna like my list. Some of these are kind of they're kind of in the same sphere, but it's because I truly mean it, and I'll explain why. One, are you ready for me to start? Are you ready, girl? Are you ready for this?
Yes, but let me make sure that I write them down so that when I'm editing, I can, you know, put it. Yeah. All right, go ahead. I'm ready.
Yeah, just basically, yeah. All right. I'm gonna do. I know this is another one. I'm doing Elswearingen from Deadwood because I can't tell you the main character of Deadwood. I can tell you Charlie. I can tell you. Oh God, never mind. I can't tell you. Pew pew pew. The gunslinger.
Wild Bill.
Wild Bill. Yeah, Wild Bill. I can't tell you the main character's name, but you know who I can talk about? Elswearingen, because I'm telling you, I had a point with the show that I would get bored with the main character stuff. I would skip it and just go straight to Elswearingen because he's so funny. Like, definitely it is old timey, but he was such a good character. And that's the problem when you have freaking oh God, I can't think of his name though. Who plays Elswearingen? What the frick is his name?
Ian McShane.
Ian McShane. I feel like I have so many actors' names in my head right now. I know, and I'm jealous. It's not fair, but it is because you put all this hard work in. But you know what? I want it. No, I'm joking. Now, kind of like I want to put this one on there. This isn't a part of my top 5. I'm just letting you know. I was about to very much put Mike from Breaking Bad on there.
Wait, you're not going to? Like when
I got into an argument.
When I did this list, I was doing it with the mindset that you were going to put down Mike from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I'm almost disappointed now.
Well, what it was, okay, is that stole the spotlight meant that I love Mike, and Mike is the best thing to come out of that show. But Heisenberg and Jesse, it's hard to take the spotlight just directly away from them because they were so big to the show. And you can't say, oh, well, they're not, non-memorable characters. 'Cause I'm telling you, every time that Heisenberg came on, my breath was holding because I was like, damn, he's gonna do something really shitty or something really manipulative. And Mike was just the cherry on top. Like, I would have loved every Mike scene, but I wasn't skipping Heisenberg scenes and Walter White scenes, Jesse scenes, just to get to Mike. And that was my only reason. And when I said I was going to put him on at like the lunch table at the college, they were like, Brittany, you can't do that. Mike, do you really think he stole the spotlight though? And I was like, all right. So definitely honorable mention.
I was gonna say, I guess when you put it that way, that's a good argument.
I know, and I was mad about it too because I didn't want to admit it. This may be one of yours, so I'm sorry if it is. I was like had it as a maybe, but I'm gonna go with the Punisher in Daredevil season 2.
So it's funny you say that. Really quick, I was going to, but he's not on my list, so you're good.
Okay. I think I'm good. So because I'm telling you, whenever he popped up in season 2, I had no longer had any interest in Daredevil because at that point, you'd been showing me clips, been showing me scenes. I had been really enjoying it. I was like, damn, I get why everybody loves Matt Murdock. And then not them. Him. I was like, it's one man. That was all it took. And the hospital scene. Tia, I no longer cared about Daredevil past that point. The rest of that season was me going, when you would be like, oh yeah, I was watching it because I wasn't watching it straight through, and I was like, is there more Punisher? Oh my god, is he gonna be in it again? You know what I mean? Like getting so excited about a character was so nice.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I definitely want to jump in and say, like, when I go back and rewatch Daredevil, like season 1 is great. I think so it's funny because as much as I love season 2 because of Frank Castle, if we're talking about like a Daredevil season where you care about Matt Murdock, season 3 is the best. So when I'm rewatching Daredevil and I get to season 2, as you said, I no longer care what's happening in Matt Murdock's life.
Yeah.
Like, especially him and the Elektra scenes, do not care. Give me more Frank Castle. Daredevil season 2 is completely Punisher season 1, so I think it's the epitome of stealing the spotlight.
I agree because at that point they were like, Matt Murdock, who? Yeah. I want the trash man with family death issues
with the tragic backstory.
Yeah, we love a tragic backstory,
of course.
But I'm also gonna go with Hannibal from Silence of the Lamb because he's only in there for like what 7-8 minutes.
I think I'm gonna look it up while you talk because it is something ludicrous like that.
Yeah, and so I sit there and I wondered, like when I sat there when I was like brainstorming at the cafeteria, they're like, I can't believe you wouldn't put Hannibal, and I was like, yeah, but he's the main character. They're like, but is he truly meant to be the big main character like that? No, because I skip through sometimes when I'm like, okay, I want to watch Silence of the Lamb. I find myself skipping. I watch some Clarice scenes, but my mind is focused on Hannibal because he's so hyper intelligent and so just cool, calm, collected, but so savage at the same time. I can't help it. Like I have to watch Hannibal, and that's kind of like with Hannibal getting the own TV show or the movies afterwards. It's like Sir Anthony Hopkins is always going to be known as Hannibal, as he is technically a main character, I believe, but is he truly the main character? We're supposed to focus on Clarice, and so that's why I got to put him. Always got to put my main man Hannibal.
It literally, I mean, I can't get the exact minute, but they say it's less than 15 minutes in an entire movie. An entire movie that runs for nearly, like, it's 2 minutes shy of 2 hours.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he really just steals it.
Which, by the way, makes me so sad. I hate to jump in again, but it makes me so sad
because
the actor who played young Hannibal in that movie Hannibal Rising,
I
passed away
know.
recently. And it makes me really sad because I really liked that movie. And it's an underrated movie that no one literally talks about because obviously Mads Mikkelsen did such a fantastic job in the show Hannibal as a prequel. But and I know I'm gonna mispronounce his name, but Gaspard Ulliel. I'm sorry. I thought he did a fantastic job, and apparently he is in Moon Knight, which I think was his like last acting credit. So
Yeah.
that's coming up soon.
Because
So at least we'll see him in that.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Is I was like, I just didn't. I forget that skiing is so dangerous. If
Isn't
you
that
just,
how Sunny passed away? Like from Sunny and Cher?
I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Like I guess it's just like if you go into a tree, you have
Mhm.
impact, you have legs that get hurt, but it's really tragic, really sad because he's still super young,
I
and
think
really
36 years
promising
old.
career. Yeah,
Yeah. So
but
sorry, I didn't want to interrupt and say that,
no,
but I
no,
did
you're
want to
good.
on the subject of Hannibal. But anyway, go ahead. You have two more.
I have Yelena from Black Widow.
Oh, yeah, she did. As much
Yeah,
as I
yeah,
love
she stole
Natasha,
it. She
she stole.
stole it.
She
Because
totally
I
stole the
watched
show.
that. I watched it. It was like she was so cutely not evil, but badass. And sometimes like you start getting like archetypes where it's like, especially like I'll say this because we're in Women's History Month. Sometimes women written by men or women that are stereotyped in movies, they fall either into I'm gruff and mean and strong, or I'm really delicate, or I'm the sexy lady in a suit who's really like very Catwoman. And not to
Hmm.
beef on Catwoman, but you know what I mean? It's very like the sultry type.
The femme
It was,
fatale.
yes. And it's like, I get those and they are awesome. But I like that she was strong, could handle herself, but she's still just a scared kid that had a very cruel world, tear her childhood apart. And she's still a little kid at heart, wanting the fake father and mother that she had in the past, and still so upset for it to this day, where she's remembering that family. And I thought it was something so delicate and kind of fun to a character. Not fun, the tragic story, but she was fun. She was funny. And it was nice to have an actually funny female character because sometimes they don't allow for the women in a lot of these shows to be the funny one. You know what I mean? They have
No,
to be
and
I'm the adult here, so I can't laugh at your jokes, Mel lead. You know what I mean?
well, I will say that probably the reason why Yelena was written the way she was is because the movie was directed by a woman.
Hell yes.
That is
And
true.
not to be
Brittany,
shitty, because I don't want
Brit-
to say that just, people can't, but God, it feels more real.
no, it's okay. It's literally Women's History Month, and we are recording this on International Women's Day. So hell
That's
yeah.
true.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
No, Yelena definitely stole the show.
I loved her. But as for my last pick, and I gotta do it to you, Tia.
Oh, wait, I can already guess. Does his first name start with N?
Yeah! You know it because Negan, like after that point, he stole the show too much. He changed the entire course of that show upon being introduced.
He literally stole the show that I don't know if you saw, but they're doing a spin-off show with Negan and Maggie.
I was wondering if it was a movie or a spin-off show because I'm telling you, like the comics, I don't think go in the direction. Like Carlos will still be alive. Rick is still alive by this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Negan is still around, but he's more of like in the group. But I mean, Negan hit it so hard that Rick's gone. Negan's the only part I still like of the show. And that's how a lot of people feel, but it's like he was too good. He was like too sweet and caused a cavity. And now we have nothing but this awful show. Like, 'cause it was so good. And the episodes he was started in, great, scary. He affected you so much that you dropped the entire show for
I
like
did.
ever
I did.
because you were so devastated over Abraham.
I
Which I feel like
was.
that's funny because most people are like, Glenn, and you're like, yeah, Glenn's sad, but not my ginger bastard.
Well, because it's like we expected Glenn. In the comics, Glenn dies exactly how Glenn died in the show. So I was like, in a way, were you guys surprised that they killed Glenn in the way that he literally dies in the comics?
Yeah. And so then like Abe, I know he was supposed to have died way earlier on, I think.
Yeah. And he was
Yeah.
actually supposed to die in the same manner that I think the character's name was Denise. Remember the character who
I
literally
think
got
so.
like,
The arrow through the eye.
yeah, that was how he was supposed to die. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what's
was
worse.
like, I know. Hey, at least if it had been that way, it would have been more sudden and not you hating Negan because he bashed his brains and then laughed about it. You
So
feel me?
what's really funny, by the way, fantastic list. Of course, you had to end it off with Negan. I feel
Of
that.
course.
Speaking about The Walking Dead, I don't know when I'm going to post this. So either this could be before I post or after I post the other thing. Guess what email I just got today?
What?
An interview opportunity with Stephen Ogg, Simon from The Walking Dead.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
Oh, of
In
course.
honor of Women's History Month, you need we need it. Do it for us, Tia.
Oh,
do
no,
it for us.
I already responded and I have it scheduled for tomorrow, which is the 9th. So
Oh my God.
yeah.
How are you not jumping out of your skin?
You should have seen my face when I got the email. I was telling Paulie, I was like, I literally was just staring at my phone like,
I think this is really happening.
So yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm jealous.
Going back to the task at hand, the top 10, fantastic list. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was Brittany's top 5 for our top 10 supporting characters that stole the spotlight. I will now start with mine. I'm going to start mine with Robert Novak from Sleepless, played by Scoot McNairy.
Yes. I'm sorry, quick thing. I almost made a list with him because he was like, I remember nothing of that movie, but you know who I remember?
His character.
Yes. Like he was just scary.
No, and it's so funny, like with Sleepless, it's like I really like, no offense, because Jamie Foxx is a great actor, but I literally couldn't care less about
It's
Jamie.
so fine.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like
sorry, I just had to add that.
But it's like I literally couldn't care about Jamie Foxx's character in Sleepless. I, as much as like I wanted to watch that movie because David Harbour was in it, his character is very generic, and we know David Harbour can like play it up, but you really could have just gotten anyone to be in that role.
Bad guy henchman trademark.
Yeah, exactly. But Scoot McNairy does such a fantastic job as Robert Novak. It's like every time I rewatch that movie, I just look forward to his scenes. He commands the presence. I wanted more of him. I would have been fine if he would have, like, spoiler alert, the movie's like 10 years old now at this point, but I would have been fine if he would have lived at the end and we would have gotten more of him. And literally that's the movie that made me even aware of who the hell Scoot McNairy was, and now he's one of my favorite actors.
I know, he really, like, that movie put you onto him. And like that's the one thing is like so me and Tia always talk, like, when we know there's gonna be a character we like. I had told her before, I said, Tia, I watched it because I got to watch it first because we were both, planning on watching it at different times. And I said, Tia, there's gonna be this character you're gonna love. Well, she forgot me saying that. Then messages me and goes, Brittany, there's this character. I'm like, you bitch, I told you. I
literally texted Brittany. I was like, Brittany, there's a villain in Sleepless, and oh my God, he's so good. And Brittany's like, yeah, I told you that you were going to like the villain. And I did. So Rob Novak, played by Scoot McNairy in Sleepless, definitely stole the show. The next one, I'm going to do Blaine, played by David Anders from iZombie, because as much as I love Liv, there was all these other fantastic supporting characters as well, like Ravi and Chase and Peyton. Really, Blaine stole the show, because Blaine honestly was a character that probably should have just lasted one season, but because David Anders did such a fantastic job, it's like I feel like they just found ways to write him in.
He was the Loki. He was the Loki of it.
Yes.
They had such a good villain
Mhm.
that they just had to use him again.
Exactly, because it's like realistically, it's like Blaine should have just been a one and done season sort of villain, but I don't care. I love that they kept him around. I kept like every season, I was like, please don't let this be the season that they kill Blaine. Please don't let this be the season they kill Blaine. So Blaine definitely stole the show in iZombie. I mean, again, as much as there's so many characters in that show that I like, and you know, the show is obviously Liv's story and Ravi, Clive. I'm sorry, I still don't like Liv being with Major, but I'll get over it. Maybe not really.
We wanted him with Chase Graves.
Not even really Chase Graves. Like, I appreciated that they got together for an episode, but I wanted her to be with Lowell from first season. I loved her with Lowell, but
but Blaine had to ruin it.
I was gonna say Blaine did kill him, to be fair, but anyway, Blaine definitely.
I guess you could say he, as a zombie, was already dead. That song's so good.
Us doing that, are we gonna get claimed now? Don't claim us. We're literally terrible singers.
It wasn't even 5 seconds. It was nothing. It was nothing.
I always that's never happened to us, but I always hear like YouTubers say, like, don't even hum it, you're gonna get claimed. And I'm just like, that happens? Like,
no!
Come on, guys. Anyway, who was it doing? Oh, Mad Sweeney in American Gods. You know, I had to throw in American Gods, but
he was on my list and I took it away because I was almost sure that he was going to be on your list. I said, I won't do that to Tia. I know her.
Thank
she
you.
loves her American Gods.
Thank you. Well, and it's so funny because it's like I started caring for Shadow Moon in season 3, but literally the first 2 seasons, I didn't care about Shadow at all. Like, literally didn't care about his scenes. It was all about Pablo Schreiber as Matt Sweeney. Every time he got on screen, I was just like, yes, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. I just that tall Irish leprechaun bastard he stole the show.
Sweeney.
Maybe he had to go for Shadow to shine a little in season 3, because I'm telling you, those first 2 seasons, I literally was like, Shadow who?
Shadow who?
And
he's such a good looking man, and he really is a great actor, but you had no reason to care about him. There was just so many more interesting characters. It's like, yeah, you have this, but you're dark and broody and you're trying to do the nice thing and you're kind of but boring. He was a little boring at first, but then he really picked up where I was like, I was invested in his story, but I care way more about Sweeney. Well, that trash bandit.
And the funny thing about Sweeney is, like, because I actually read the book, I know I've mentioned that like a million times, but like Sweeney literally is in like 5 pages, like in the book. So for him to have this huge arc in the first 2 seasons is amazing. I do have to say, by the way, shout out to Ricky Whittle, who plays Shadow Moon, for always championing for a 4th season of American Gods. I appreciate
what's it so bad?
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry, Tia. Look how desperate she is.
Anyway, I'm moving on. My last 2 are new characters, actually. And one being Riff, played by Mike Feist. In the new Feist. It's Faist. But anyway.
I would say Feist,
right? So Mike Feist, who plays Riff in the new West Side Story. I did not expect to like that character. I've seen the original West Side Story, and the character of Riff never stood out to me. But when I went to go see the new West Side Story, instantly, as soon as he was on screen, I was like, who is this guy? Who
is this beautiful man?
He does... I literally, and especially since like the actor who played Tony was so stiff and really awkward in it. There was nothing about his character to capture me, but Riff, I was completely captured the entire movie. Like I loved when he was on screen. He could sing, he could dance. He really like felt comfortable in his own skin. And so I was like, yo, I really like Riff. Even though he's not like the best of persons either, but I mean,
Yeah.
he does play the leader of a gang who's beefing with another gang for turf and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But he is a trash panda as well, apparently. No, but I seriously,
I know we like our men damaged.
Clearly I can save them.
I can make him better.
But
Arthur.
Yeah. But no, I loved Mike Feist as Riff. And after I saw West Side Story, I obviously went into his filmography and tried to watch everything I could with that actor in it. So yeah, he definitely stole the show. And the final character for my list for this top 10 has to be Vigilante from Peacemaker.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. That's great. That is a good one.
Because it's so funny because again, the whole show is about Peacemaker, John Cena, who does a fantastic job. I'm not gonna say that he didn't do a fantastic job, but literally as soon as they introduced Peacemaker, I was like, hold up, John Cena. Who's this?
You're like, you're good. You play a great character, but I'm gonna need you to move out of the way.
I need you to move out of the way.
For the murder hobo.
Vigilante is just so funny. It's as soon as he hopped on, I sat there and I said, I hope he isn't, say, a minimal character, and he's not. As soon as he gets introduced, he's in every episode. He's with the crew, and he's just so fantastic. He's like a murder baby, and I just love his character so much. I mean, every episode I was like, yes, more Vigilante. And this is a spoiler alert for the finale of Peacemaker, but there was a scene where I thought Vigilante was going to die, and I said, no, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. He doesn't die, thank God. But yeah,
She is so relieved. Like, please, I know he's murdered so many people, but please, not my Vigilante.
Like, seriously, there's so many fantastic scenes with Vigilante. I personally love the scenes where Peacemaker could not take out the Butterfly family, and Vigilante, you know, just happily did it for him. Or when Vigilante literally gets himself incarcerated so that he could potentially kill Peacemaker's racist ass dad. So many fantastic scenes. I sent you that scene, I think.
Yeah.
It was great.
I think. Wait, in the prison scene or the
the prison scene?
Yeah, okay, yeah, the prison scene. That was great.
It was perfect. So yeah, Vigilante definitely stole the show, and I think he is worthy of being my number one on our top 10.
Hell yeah. I agree. I didn't expect that show to be good. I'll be honest, because I heavily disliked how much I disliked the DC movies, and I get that a lot of people love them. I just legitimately I just don't enjoy them, and that's like coming from somebody that loves DC. I truly do. Grew up watching Justice League Unlimited, Batman animated, Superman animated, all of them. It was great. I just don't like the movies, but I guess when everybody was like, oh yeah, Peacemaker's coming out, it's like, why do I care about this character that apparently everybody hated in the movie? Why do I care about him? Why do I want to watch a TV show? I can't believe they made a whole TV show around this guy. And then it was great. And you have Vigilante. I was like, what the hell is happening?
I felt the same way. And so on a weekly basis, I participate also with this other podcast by the Kind of Nerdy Girls. And we were talking this past week about DC movies, and I said a lot of people misconstrue when I talk about these movies that I just hate DC. And you have to remember, we grew up on DC, Batman, the animated series, the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah.
I mean, we grew up on DC. I didn't know who Iron Man was or Captain America was or anything like that. So to say that I hate DC is kind of really almost insulting, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of where the recent movies have gone. But yeah, when I watched the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker killed Rick Flag, and I was like,
You're like,
wait, you want me to care about a show with this guy? And then I will argue that Peacemaker is one of the best comic book shows in like recent times. And I think that DC excels when they do strange shit because Doom Patrol is so good. So so I put Peacemaker at that level where it's weird, it's crazy. And I love it. I love it so much. I literally have their theme song like on my playlist on YouTube.
that's pretty good. I know. Heard it the other day, and I was like, God, why is this so catchy? I was like, I gotta go watch the intro again. I gotta have like hear the entire song. That song is really gonna make that band. I really hope it does.
I do too. I do too. But yeah, that's our list for the top 10. Did you have any honorable mentions you wanted to put out there?
Let me look at my list real quick. I know what my friend suggested Bucky and the Winter Soldier, but I don't feel like for me he stole the spotlight. I just think she's simping for Bucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a simping thing as opposed to like an
Yeah.
actual thing.
So I was like, wait, so I was like, I'll bring it up if given the chance, because I know a lot of people love Bucky.
Yeah.
But definitely Mike, Saul in Breaking Bad, the both of them, because they really, they did really good. I enjoyed them. And then God, I'm trying to think of another show. Anything like in recent history that I've watched.
I mean, I would say Loki in like the first two Thor movies.
Yeah, I agree. 'Cause that was kind of how I felt about whenever you were talking about Blaine.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you brought up this character that you realized would be a great villain. You're like, I gotta reuse them. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, Loki should have. Well, apparently, his death in the second Thor was supposed to be permanent. And I think when they did like the test footage or something, it was so negatively received that that's why then they filmed the whole, him.
He would have died in such a shitty movie.
It's such a shitty movie, and that was going to be the last time we see Loki. So,
yeah,
I know some people have like Loki fatigue. I don't.
Yeah, what are they talking about?
Even though I'm just going to admit, I just don't think the Loki show is that good. I don't think it has.
Oh no.
I don't think it has anything to do with Tom Hiddleston as Loki. It's the same thing as like the first two Thors, where just the writing just wasn't that great. But I saw Sunny just like
I know. I watched him go by and I was just like, well, hello there.
I one day will get this green screen situation sorted out, but for now, I don't know why it's
yeah, no, I like it. Kind of makes like a cool effect on the 10.
Thank you. Let me just do something before we feel like we breeze through this shit, which I'm not mad about.
I think it's because it was easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, could you imagine if we had done that back when we were doing the 2 hours? We'd be like, what the fuck are we going to talk about?
Yeah, what are we going to talk about? Like, I don't know, whatever. But I know that Brittany has a very busy schedule and everything, but I do want you to talk about you playing RDR2 on Twitch.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so when I first started it, I had begun the very beginning part of I had started chapter 2 and then just dropped off from playing it. I think I was having issues with controls. I was having a little trouble getting into it, and I don't know what's happening. But then I beat GTA 5. Started playing Elden Ring, which Elden Ring is so good. Everybody and the mama playing it right now, but it's so good. And so I was playing that and I was starting to go, God, I'm starting to grind a little bit. I need something else to play.
Mm.
And my friend was like, why don't you play Red Dead Redemption 2 now that you play GTA? You're a little more used to control. She can stick it out. Got to it. I was like, Arthur, you're so good. And so like it does throw me off when my horse starts pooping every now and then,
Oh
like
my
when I
God,
stop moving.
that's
I was
so
just
fun.
like,
That was so funny when I first started playing RDR, and I'm like, is the horse just doing its business while I'm just standing on it? I mean, I guess that's
yeah,
real life, but you just don't expect it. It's like,
yeah.
damn.
I was like, somebody had to animate. I said dog shit, but horse shit coming out. And like, I do think it's cool, by the way, that depending on like the gender of the horse, he'll be like, whoa, girl, or whoa, boy. And you can see the bits, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's such a small thing.
Does it throw
You know
you
what I
off?
mean?
Does it throw you off with RDR that it's so much more graphic when you kill someone than in GTA? Like, I,
Yes.
I was playing because when you're playing GTA and like and again, this is all I want to put this warning out. These are video games that we're talking about right now. But when
Yeah.
but when you play GTA 5 and you like literally like someone takes a shotgun to the face, really nothing happens to them. They just die and you're like that's unrealistic. But the first time I shot someone in a video game in the head with a shotgun, their entire head exploded. And I was like, wow,
Like what
wow.
just happened? Yeah. I had that moment with not particularly unaliving someone. It's that game you play with Lenny where you're like doing the knife, and I would
Mm.
literally recoil every time I fucked up and it would hit his finger.
Oh my God,
Because I was
have you done the mission yet with Lenny where you two get drunk?
Yes, I was like, what am I doing right now? What am I doing? I was like, and then I was confused because that part where Lenny's getting like tied up on the ground, like when y'all get caught, and
Mm.
I'm just like running like hell. And then I was like, oh my God, I have to go back for Lenny. I have to go back for Lenny. No, he's at the camp. How do you get away? How do you get there?
Um, when I played that, I was so confused because, like, in the sequence, there's at one point where it seems like Arthur's about to punch someone, and then he's like dancing, and the whole thing was
Yeah, that part. I just, oh God.
there, and it just the whole time where he's like, Leonard, Leonard.
And I chose to be nice to that one guy, like, oh,
Oh, me too.
butter him up, basically. And he's just like, buddy, you're real charming. I don't mean any harm, but I'm gonna need you to go away. And this guy's like, like whining. Like I was like, and then he comes up again.
So there's two, really quick, there's two like outcomes at the end of that. Either you get caught and you end up in a jail cell, or you can run away and you just wake up in a field.
I ran away and woke up in the
Oh,
field.
okay. Well, no,
Yeah,
because
I got
I was watching and it's like if you don't like run, you get caught and you just wake up in a jail cell.
that would have probably made my life easier at that point because
Leonard!
so when he wakes up and he just instantly starts throwing up everywhere, I was like, okay, I feel that. I mean, you were drinking because I did a part where it's whiskey in a bottle, and I'm like, God, that's some strong stuff. I couldn't imagine drinking an entire bottle. That'd be like drinking like an entire bottle of tequila. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't sit there and go, whiskey's something that you just glug down like that. And I had one part where I forgot that I was clicking down and I downed the bottle all in one go. And I was like, oh God. Oh,
Yeah,
Arthur, I'm sorry.
Arthur freaking drank that night. I was like, holy crap, how you're not dead is a miracle.
Yeah.
What's
Maybe I was weaker back then.
Did I remember you saying when we used to talk about Deadwood? Sorry, my like contact's bothering me. I can't wait to take it out after this. But I think you were telling me at some point that like apparently in the old Western days, like people just drank whiskey because it was cleaner than the water. And I'm like,
Yeah.
can you just imagine what that would have done to your body? Just to be like never drinking water?
Yeah. No, I wonder about that too because you had springs and everything. Like one of the house my parents used to have ran off of spring water, right? But
Mhm.
if you didn't have that and you were traveling, but you could just bottle up beer or something like, or that it has to be in a clean environment or it's not beer, it's sterile. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
'Cause it's
It is
alcohol. Yeah.
yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
But I forget.
Moonshine.
I'm so tired. I forget. Did you plug yourself just yet? Did you do that?
Not yet.
Okay. Go ahead.
If you want to find me on Twitch and watch me play Red Dead Redemption 2, you can find me at Twitch at Itty Bitty Brit. Also at Twitter at Itty Bitty Brit 0. Or Twitter, which TikTok. That's Itty Bitty Brittany. And I put clips there. I have a good time. Also, I have a YouTube. It's Itty Bitty Brit.
There's so
It's
many
Brittany, bitch.
There's so many itty bits.
Yeah, so many.
So many. But yes, please make sure that you check out Brittany's channel. She's a very dedicated streamer who spends much of her time trying to entertain you all. As for us, please make sure that you like and subscribe. We are currently sitting at 1,570 subscribers on our YouTube page, which is amazing. And then please make sure that you're following us at Geek Vibes Nation on Twitter and Instagram. We're also on Facebook and our website, geekvibesnation.com. We are actually in the process of updating the website to kind of look a little better. So that's very exciting. And just again, please make sure that you're liking and subscribing if you want to follow me. I mostly post on Twitter, so that's TC_Stark. I'll put that all down below. And this has been a fun top 10. And I look forward to next month's. Bye.
Bye.